Some mysteries are so bizarre, so steeped in darkness, that they seem to exist outside the boundaries of what we consider possible. They linger in the shadows, whispered about in hushed tones, their details lost to time and fear. These are the stories that haunt the edges of our collective memory, the ones that make us question what is real and what is merely legend. Some tales are so chilling, so inexplicable, that they defy all explanation. They leave behind only fragments, clues that never quite fit together and questions that no one dares to answer. Tonight we delve into one such enigma, a children's board game from the early 1990s, a seemingly innocent pastime that, according to those who encountered it, left a trail of madness, disappearance, and even death in its wake. This is not just a story about a game, but about the darkness that can hide in the most unexpected places. This is the chilling case of Rap Rat, a game that has become the stuff of urban legend and internet lore, whispered about on message boards and in late-night conversations. On the surface, Rap Rat was just another goofy, brightly colored game, complete with a rapping puppet on VHS. It was marketed as a fun, family-friendly experience, the kind of thing you'd find at a birthday party or on a rainy afternoon. But beneath the cheerful exterior, it hid a sinister secret, a curse born from tragedy, a darkness that seemed to seep into the lives of those who played it. Rumors spread of strange occurrences, of nightmares that wouldn't end, and of a sense of dread that clung to the game like a shadow. For those who played, the rules were deceptively simple, almost inviting. But as the game progressed, something changed. The laughter faded, replaced by unease. The room grew colder, and the players began to sense that they were no longer alone. The stakes, it turned out, were far higher than anyone could have imagined. Sanity was the price for playing, and sometimes, even their lives. Families were left searching for answers, and communities were shaken by the inexplicable tragedies that followed. Was it simply a case of mass hysteria, fueled by rumor and fear? Or was there something truly supernatural at work, something that defied all rational explanation? The line between reality and nightmare blurred, leaving only terror in its wake. As we peel back the layers of this mystery, remember, some say that even speaking the name of this game can invite misfortune. The name you're about to hear is said to carry a heavy power, one that lingers long after the game is over. When it comes to Rap Rat, you don't just play the game. If the stories are to be believed, it plays you, and the consequences can be terrifyingly real. Our story begins in the vibrant world of early 1990s Australian television, where two ambitious producers, Philip Tanner and Brett Clements, were making their mark. Both men were known for their creative spark and willingness to take risks, always searching for the next big thing that could shake up the entertainment industry. Together, they formed a partnership called A Couple of Cowboys, a name that reflected their maverick spirit and their readiness to break the rules of traditional game design. Their big idea was to merge the worlds of video and board games, creating a brand new kind of interactive experience. Instead of just rolling dice and moving pieces, players would be guided by a host on a VHS tape, making every game session unpredictable and thrilling. In 1991 they released their first major project, Nightmare, known as Atmosphere in Europe. The game was an instant sensation, captivating families and friends with its eerie atmosphere and innovative gameplay. It quickly became a runaway hit, selling millions of copies around the world and turning a couple of cowboys into household names. At the heart of Nightmare was the Gatekeeper, a chilling character who appeared on the TV screen to taunt, challenge, and sometimes terrify players. His sudden appearances and booming voice became legendary, thrilling and scaring families in equal measure. Riding high on their success, the Cowboys set their sights on a new challenge. They wanted to create a game for children, something lighter, more playful, and completely different from the dark world of Nightmare. Their concept, a hip-hop puppet rat who would guide kids through a fast-paced race for cheese. It was meant to be innocent fun, a game that would make children laugh and dance. But as the project developed, the execution took on a life of its own. What started as a simple children's game began to gather rumors, whispers, and a reputation that would soon become the stuff of urban legend. The game was called Rap Rat. With its quirky puppet host and catchy theme song, it was supposed to be the next big thing for kids everywhere. But behind the scenes, the creation of Rap Rat marked a turning point. The company's fortunes began to shift, and the once unstoppable Cowboys found themselves facing unexpected challenges and growing uncertainty. They had mastered the art of manufactured fear with Nightmare, but with Rap Rat, they stumbled onto something that felt strangely real, something they couldn't control. And the story of Rap Rat's creation and the cowboy's downfall all began in a mysterious factory in Haiti. In 1992, a cowboys outsourced Rap Rat's production to a Haitian doll factory. The factory was notorious for harsh conditions and exploited labor, including children. Workers whispered that the Rap Rat dolls felt wrong, their eyes seemed to follow, their smiles predatory. Dolls moved on their own, or so it seemed. Management ignored the unease, focused only on deadlines. The first batch of puppets was nearly complete, but one doll would soon be bound to a tragedy that would change everything. The stage was set for an accident that would curse the game forever, and the curse was about to be born. One sweltering day, a young girl working at the factory was killed by a faulty sewing machine. Her mother, overcome with grief and rage, invoked a powerful voodoo curse, calling upon a fear demon named Apparat. She declared that all who touched the puppet would be consumed by fear and meet a violent end. The factory owner dismissed her as hysterical, covering up the tragedy and resuming production. But the curse lingered, woven into the very fabric of the Rap Rat dolls. The blood was washed away, but the mother's words could not be erased. The demon waited, patient and hungry. The dolls, now cursed, were shipped out to the world, and the nightmare began. The demon's name, Apparat, spread among the workers, fueling fear. In a mocking twist, an executive rearranged the letters. Apparat became Rap Rat. They thought it was a joke, but in a cult tradition, names hold power. Every time a child shouted Rap Rat, they unknowingly invoked the demon. The name, meant to dispel fear, only strengthened the curse. Marketing rolled out a catchy theme song and a cheerful persona, but the original doll, closest to the tragedy, vanished from the factory. Executives ignored the warning signs. They had just mailed a demon to thousands of homes. The curse was now unstoppable. The curse struck quickly. In Haiti, workers who complained about safety died in gruesome suicides, each leaving the message, "I am fear." Back in Australia, the game's creators became withdrawn, haunted by nightmares and paranoia. By 1994, they vanished without a trace, and their company collapsed overnight. The official story blamed market changes, but insiders whispered of a curse dismantling everything. The money vanished, the empire crumbled. A former associate recalled a frantic call. "I see eyes in every shadow. Something's scratching at my door." Then, silence. The masters of manufactured fear had become its victims. The curse was real, and it was spreading. And Rap Rat was just getting started. For most, the curse arrived through the VHS tape. David, who got the game for his birthday, remembers the puppet's dead fish-like eyes and a sickly grin. As they played, the tape glitched, showing images tailored to each child's deepest fears. The puppet's voice dropped to a demonic growl, repeating, "He's Rap Rat, and he's the boss." Years later, David played the tape again. The puppet looked hideously real, covered in matted fur and thorns. The images had evolved, now showing his adult fears. As the tape played, scratching and thumping echoed from his front door. The tape was scorching hot. He smashed it, but days later, it reappeared in his drawer. The game wasn't finished with him. The curse was relentless, and the terror was only beginning. The Rap Rat tape is infamous for its supernatural resilience. Burn it, bury it. Somehow, it always returns. Investigators report the tape plays normally for skeptics, but reverts to horror when the owner is alone. Victims describe two voices layered on the tape. The puppets and a guttural growl in an unknown language. During Wait Your Turn, the sound spikes at infrasound frequencies, known to induce dread and paranoia. In 2008, thermal imaging showed the tape heating to over 200 degrees Fahrenheit while the VCR stayed cool. No scientific explanation fits. It's as if the evil inside is literally burning to get out. The tape is a vessel for the curse, impossible to destroy, impossible to escape. And it's always waiting for its next victim. After all the evidence, one chilling conclusion remains. Beneath the surface of every urban legend, there's a kernel of truth. The story of Rap Rat is no exception. For years, whispers have circulated about the true nature of the game and the darkness it conceals. Rap Rat is not just a game. It's a prison. A vessel designed to contain the demon Apparat. A force so malevolent that it had to be locked away, hidden in plain sight within a children's board game. The box is its cell. The rules, its chains. The legend says Apparat was first summoned by a mother's overwhelming grief, desperate to bring back what she'd lost. But grief is a dangerous door to open. Through the game, the demon seeks new victims, luring them with curiosity and the promise of innocent fun. To speak its name, even in jest, is to invite it in. The invitation is silent, but binding. Once uttered, it cannot be revoked, no matter how much you wish to take it back. The haunting doesn't begin with a bang, it starts quietly. Shadows flicker at the edge of your vision, faint scratching echoes through the night, and nightmares become a nightly ritual shared by all who play. Apparat feeds on fear, growing stronger with every sleepless night. The more you dread the darkness, the more powerful it becomes, thriving on your terror and uncertainty. The scratching is its signature, an unnatural, dragging sound that always seems to come from just outside your door. It's a warning, a promise, and a threat all at once. Apparat doesn't need to break into your home, it breaks into your mind, unraveling your sanity thread by thread, until you can't tell what's real and what's nightmare. Even now, Rap Rat games gather dust in forgotten attics and cluttered thrift stores, waiting for someone curious, or unlucky, enough to bring them home. The curse inside lies dormant, but it's never truly gone. All it takes is one person to open the box, and the nightmare begins anew. This is more than a ghost story, it's a warning about greed, about the consequences of tampering with forces beyond our understanding. Evil, stitched together and sealed in a box, waiting for the next victim. So if you ever find the game, trust your instincts. Walk away. Don't let curiosity be your undoing. Because if you ever hear scratching at your door, remember, it's already too late to run. He's Rap Rat, and in this game, he's always the boss.